What's good? What's good? It's your boy Jay Shaw from the Behind the Bench Network. Shout out to the bench crew. Let's get straight to this. So, I thought about this. I've been thinking about it. I put a question poll on our channel, and I asked this question: is LeBron a NBA plant? And I'm really starting to think that he is. Anybody that really followed basketball for 25 plus years, I'm talking about consistent basketball, college, NBA, shoot, WNBA. You know the history. You've seen greatness. If it's Jordan, Bird, Kareem, Kobe, even lower tier players like tab tier lower like Allen Iverson. You know, you've seen greatness in Tim Duncan. You've seen good players like a Kevin Garnett, a Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, a Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. You know what greatness looked like. Based off skill set, not the moments, people. Skill set. The way they shoot the ball. Go-to moves. Dirk Nowitzki. And when it comes to LeBron, the reason why I feel like he's an NBA plant is because they was pushing him even his rookie year when everybody know that Carmelo Anthony should have been rookie of the year. But for the NBA to get people to notice LeBron and start paying attention to him, we'll give him rookie of the year. It was not even a close race, in my opinion. Carmelo Anthony had that on lock. Harder conference, team improved, made the playoff, was player of the month majority out the NBA season. You know, the league could not push LeBron to be the face of the league if he could not win a championship. So the first championship with Miami, you got to remember they lost to Dallas, right? They lost to Dallas. And they had the better players on the Miami Heat. 3 franchise players versus 1 franchise player, which was Chris Bosh, franchise player in Toronto, top 5 pick. D-Wade, franchise player in Miami, top 5 pick. LeBron James, number 1 overall pick, franchise player with Cleveland. Played against a franchise player in Dirk Nowitzki, which he was drafted in the top 15 of the NBA lottery. They didn't have no other bona fide all-stars, but it goes to my theory, a real superstar don't need much to carry a team. He just need 2 components and 2 type of players. When it comes to scoring, he needs a player that's going to give him anywhere between 19 to 23 points, which I believe he probably had on that team. And then he's going to need a third leading scorer that could give you anywhere between 14 to 17 points a night. And this is called, I'm talking about consistent play. Okay? They played against OKC. If you go back and rewatch that series, OKC was cheated at the free throw line throughout the whole series. They didn't get the foul calls that they should have got, and Miami was able to go to the free throw line at will. See, this is where I'm talking about the plant. The NBA pushed because they've been using these same tactics with LeBron James. Any team he played against, I don't care if it was Indiana in the playoff with Paul George or Indiana in the playoff with Oladipo. Series that they should have lost but somehow, some way, it was a missed call here, missed call there. This team didn't get the free throws, but LeBron and company got whatever was needed. The Golden State series. Go ahead, stat pad, get a triple-double. A lot of people make it seem like, well, LeBron averaged a triple-double, but most of his points came in the first quarter. He already knew. You know, LeBron's the type of person, when he knows that he can't win, he don't even try. He feels already defeated. So he'll do whatever it takes to make himself look good so they can point the blame at other people, coaches, players, and so on. It's been a routine. A plant constantly grows. It's the same thing. It gets a little water, it grows, it sheds leaves from time to time, and that's what they've been doing with us fans. They've been betting that the NBA fan is a lot dumber than what they used to be, which a lot of y'all bought into. The media is to blame, which Adam Silver controls. What can be said and what cannot be said. But when you really take a deep dive into LeBron James' career, and a lot of y'all think he's great, but when you can offensively foul 80% of the time, go into the lane, those points should not even count. And those fouls should affect your team because he should be sitting, which makes his team a lot weaker. And some of those games that they should have won, they should have lost. Now, with that said, like I said, you can look at LeBron's skill set. He got bad footwork. He's a streaky shooter. Can't hit a mid-range jump shot consistently if his life depended on it. Never have. Been in the league for almost 20 years and never been a consistent mid-range shooter. It's just, I'm an offensive foul, get my way to the lane and score. Now, sometimes he'll get to the lane without having an offensive foul, but like I said, 80% of the time he's offensive fouling. If it's pushing off with his off arm or seeking the contact, which should not be a foul on the defender if they're not trying to go into the player and the offensive player is seeking the contact. Using his shoulder to put into people's chest, using his head sometime to put into people's chest. I done seen plays where he clearly charged and they called blocking foul. The media, Adam Silver controls the referees and ain't the referees. They're just employees. And Adam Silver controls the media because the media don't have the power that they once had, especially with so much money out there from other social media platforms that the NBA could go ahead and say, you know what, if you don't want to do what we want you to do, when our contract is up, we'll go to Amazon, we'll go to Facebook, we'll go to Twitter, we'll go to Apple, we'll go to Netflix. And they'll definitely take us. And then we could plug in whatever sports analysis and journalists to cover our game and do whatever we want them to say and do. That's why you don't see a lot of people out there that's really smart on when it comes to talking basketball. You'll have people that played in other sports. Yeah, just because you watch don't mean you know. And just because you played don't mean you know either. Look at the Kendrick Perkinses of the world. And there's a lot of people, even on social media, there's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about on YouTube, on Twitter, but it's a lot of people that do know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people that used to be former players that know what they're talking about, that could break down X's and O's. It's former people. It's people in the media that never played in the NBA. They could break down X's and O's. And it's people that's on social media, on YouTube, independent content creators that could break down X's and O's also. So, and they might never played in the NBA. So you just gotta know who's who and who knows what they're talking about, because when it comes to talking about basketball, you got to know the X's and O's, and you got to have a fond memory of the past. That's all it is when it comes to basketball. Do you have a fond memory of the past? Do you remember what was talked about? Do you remember the moment? Do you remember the storyline before the game that led to that big moment, that led to that big play, that led to this team winning? That's all it is. But LeBron being an industry plant, and this is for the Laker fans, and this is honestly for a lot of fans that play against the Lakers. When they're using this formula of, we're not going to allow the other team to shoot free throws, we're going to hold teams under 10 free throws while the Lakers shoot 22. That's to help the Lakers. I kind of feel like the league feels obligated to help LeBron, or to help the Laker fan base get into the playoffs while LeBron is there, because he can't do it by himself. And they pretty much traded away a boatload of talent and draft picks that could have been that they could have had for the next 10 years and been really competitive if you really follow the game of basketball and really have an understanding about talent. The Lakers had it all. So we were sold by the media, once again, that Adam Silver controls, right? That they got to sign waivers, that they can't speak about this and they can't speak about this player, mainly LeBron, and you can't say anything that's going to damage the NBA, mainly the free throw discrepancies and why the other opposing teams that play against the Lakers are not able to shoot free throws. Now, what the league might do, you'll see games where that opposing team may just have 11 free throws pretty much by the middle of the fourth quarter. The Lakers already done took about 26 free throws. And then what they'll do in that last 5 minutes, when the Lakers pretty much have the game won, they'll start sending people to the line now in the last 5 minutes. So they had 11 free throws by the middle of the fourth quarter, or by the 8-minute mark. And now by the time they finish, they'll finish with like 18 free throws. The Lakers will have like 26. It don't look that bad, but if you're not paying attention and watching this as it go, you really don't notice. You really don't see it. You got to be able to watch it and look at that box score at the same time, and you can see how it affects the game. The Lakers got more games where they done shot over 25 free throws than the opponents that they faced. I don't think a opponent, maybe 2 or 3, maybe I'm pretty sure it's less than 5 opponents this season done shot over 25 free throws against the Lakers. And I'm pretty sure the Lakers got more teams that they done played against that got less than 13 free throws played against the Lakers when it comes to free throws. What you also got to look at, like I've been trying to tell people, is the personal fouls. Personal fouls and free throws is 2 different ways that the NBA can use their plant to have an advantage. So if a team has a lot more personal fouls, mainly their starters and their key contributors on offense, if those players is in foul trouble, it hurts that team. When you look at the Lakers starters and their key contributors on offense, they're never in foul trouble. They never have as many as 2-3 fouls per game. You'll never see LeBron with 4 or 5 fouls, or Anthony Davis. I know he had a couple games this year that he may had 5, but he's doing that help side defense, swiping at players' heads, and sometimes he don't get called for those fouls, but sometimes he do. But the other players, that the Austin Reeves, the D'Angelo Russells, players that can also score the ball, they don't really get put in foul trouble. Or maybe a player like Jared Vanderbilt, who is considered a defensive player, but he really isn't. He will never get put in foul trouble. Or Cam Reddish, he'll never be put in foul trouble. But if you go back and look at Cam Reddish in Atlanta and New York, that's one of the reasons why he couldn't stay on the floor is because he's not great at playing defense. But when Adam Silver instructs his crew not to call fouls on this player and call fouls on this team and this team, it's, you could see it. A blind man could see it. Stevie Wonder could hear it. It's just this that we're witnessing with the Lakers. And I'm a Laker fan, but I don't support this Laker team. But we was sold, and I already knew before when they announced that he was coming to the team, I already knew that this team was about to go down the drain, and their future was going to be gone and traded off and everything else. And when I was trying to tell other Laker fans, they was looking at me and they used that famous phrase, "Oh, you're just a hater." Well, how you know? Because I'm good at watching patterns. I'm good at paying attention to patterns. Some people, you go some jobs that you apply for, they want to know, are you observant? Can you recognize a pattern? Some people don't have that skill. Same way some people they could read, but they don't have reading comprehension. Some people can't spell, some people could spell. You see what I'm saying? Some people is good at math and some people ain't good at math. Well, I thrive in reading comprehension, and I thrive at patterns. Now, it ain't nothing that I'm reading in the NBA, but when it comes to patterns, I've been watching LeBron since his first stint with Cleveland. I've been pretty much watching LeBron his whole career. And I've been a Laker fan my whole career because I come from a generation that just loves basketball and grew up watching college, NBA. So I kind of knew how, some of these players would transpire once they got to the next level, and I knew some players was not going to transpire. When it comes to evaluating talent, I'm pretty good at evaluating talent. I'm not that bad. I'm not that off when it comes to certain players. But when it came to LeBron, I done watched his whole career. And we was told as Laker fans that the team will be competing for NBA titles. But in reality, and this is how bad that this franchise done got, and these Laker fans that are either casual or they done forgot the Laker way, the prestige of the Lakers and the tradition of the Lakers. Since this dude been on the team, the Lakers been playing to get in the playoffs. That the league had to make up a play-in to help LeBron get into a playoff spot. It was nothing wrong with the way that they was doing it with the best 8 seeds. You work hard as a young team to even crack the playoffs, but now you work hard, but a team that didn't really put all that work in and they're a 10th seed, they have a chance to make the playoffs. And I felt like it should have been tweaked a certain way, in years that, that 10th seed is within 2 games. You got to be within 2 games of the 8th seed, then it could go into a play-in. But if that, from the 8th seed and the 10th seed, if it's a 4 or 5 games, 6 games gap, that team should not even have a chance. They had their chances and the other team capitalized on their opportunity, so they should be rewarded as a seed. But, it's just funny now as a Laker fan that people's just hoping that the Lakers make the playoffs. I guess they feel like if they could get in, they have a sincere chance to go in and get in the finals. Why? Because they've been brainwashed to believe LeBron could take any team and make them a contender. And if he has the opportunity, you better not bet on him. Yeah, if you know what the league is doing. Now, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting and cleaning up a lot of money, betting against the Lakers and knowing what the outcomes is going to be based off the teams and the storylines and where the Lakers are in the standings and the teams in front of them and behind them. Did they lose that day or did they win? So if this team that's in front of them lost, then expect the Lakers to win. If the team behind them won, expect the Lakers to win also. But if those teams lost, then it's okay for the Lakers to lose because they don't lose no ground and they don't, if the team in front of them, they don't gain ground and everything else. The Lakers been showing you who they are for the last 4 or 5 years. They're a 10 through 12 seeded team, even with 2 superstar players on their team, and you got numerous other players that could pretty much give you the formula that I done told you when a real superstar has. So if LeBron was a real superstar, which a lot of y'all say that he is, but a lot of it, to me and a lot of NBA fans, I don't look at LeBron as a superstar because, like I said in the beginning of the video, his scoring, some of it is stat padding. Yeah, can he get hot? Yeah. But a lot of his scoring comes in garbage time, or it's non-impactful, or he's offensive fouling to get to the rim and all this other type of stuff. But just let's say this. If he's the superstar and he's giving you 25 to 28 points a night, Anthony Davis is hitting that mark at 19 to 24, right? Consistently. Then you got like a D'Lo who's able to get you 14 to 17 points consistently, right? But then they also have Austin Reeves that can also give you 14 to 17 points consistently. So what is the problem? Why do the Lakers have a hard time beating these teams? Well, the team is a mirror and a reflection of the man that's at the helm. Any NBA team, they are a reflection of the man on that team. And the man on the team of this Laker team is LeBron James. And the problem with LeBron James, he don't play defense. So if he don't play defense and he's not forcing everybody else on the team to play defense, then the team is bad defensively. The numbers might show that they're a decent defensive team, but like I said, it's easy when you can manipulate with personal fouls. See, when you could be aggressive all game offensively and defensively, that helps your defense. But if the games was being called correctly, then the Lakers will show you who they really are. They're one of the last teams in the league. Like, y'all don't question what y'all hear. Y'all just ignore the data and the stats of the content creators on social media that's talking about the NBA. Y'all just say to yourself, oh, they're just a hater. But the stats only count when it favors you. But make it make sense to me. If the Lakers is last in the league when it comes to drives to the lane, how can they be one of the first teams in the league with the most free throw attempts? So how are they getting those free throw attempts if they're not driving to the lane? Well, do you watch the game and see that the Lakers is getting fouled on jump shots? Because if you're watching the game, and you can honestly say, they get a lot of fouls on jump shots, so that's why they go to the free throw line. Or is it fouls coming in dribble drives? When a player starts his dribble, they might not even be going to the hole. They might be going to hand the ball off to someone or make a pass, and or they might be trying to get to the rim, but they get fouled. They're not one of the highest scoring teams when it comes to points in the lane. They're not one of the highest scoring teams when it comes to points in the paint with their center and power forward, because Anthony Davis don't shoot a lot of shots with his back to the basket. They don't have a lot of players on their team that just catching easy alley-oops either. The only one that might get to the free throw, and that's because he's an industry plant and they know to call these fouls for LeBron, is when he offense a foul and they'll call some bogus. I done seen clips where a player don't even touch LeBron and he'll whistle and then LeBron get the flex, and like, he does corny stuff because the man is corny. But y'all Laker fans keep giving him passes and y'all LeBron fans keep worshiping him instead of just trusting the truth. And the truth is, he's an industry plant. He's always been an industry plant. The league feels obligated to push the Lakers in the playoff because that's their baby of LeBron James. They could care less about the Lakers. They wasn't doing this with the Lakers when they had the young core. Now all of a sudden they're able to shoot free throws and get to the lane and no personal foul calls. I need smarter people to start talking smart when it comes to the Lakers and LeBron. Period. It's disturbing that a lot of NBA fans are not as smart as they used to be. Even the ones that's older than me, that's been watching the NBA for so long, maybe they do it on these networks because they look at it as a check. And they need to support their wife and their children that lived a lifestyle that they once lived when they once played. So they could care less about what's what because they look at it like, I need this check. So they're not really sports fans. They loved these sports before they became big time players themselves in other sports. But, I'm just keeping it 100. There's a couple people out there that still remember the past and know how the game is supposed to be played and can look at a box score and know that it was manipulated. Because I done heard players say a long time ago, I done heard a couple different players say, you can manipulate the box score. You can manipulate, and then they'll break it down. And when you listen, I'm not saying, this person is a hater. He knows you can manipulate a box score. Any player in the NBA can manipulate a box score. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm your boy, Jay Shad. This is a Behind the Bench broadcast. Shout out to the bench crew. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. If you like videos from Kelvin, JB, Big Dog, or Kobe Bryant Film Room, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing some big things this year, and we're going to switch up the game because we're already ahead. Until then, I'm your boy, Jay Shad. This is Behind the Bench.